Okay, so we're going to start with opening up text editor. You know where text editor is. If you recall, we showed you that in the introduction. There you go. So what I've done, I've opened it up and I've actually written about 8 lessons. So I've written about 8 examples. So I'm going to open the first example and just go through it with you. Just a bit of a fast track intro into PHP scripting. So first of all, we start up with a HTML tag, HTML, and then that's inside the tag, which is less than and greater than brackets. And for those that haven't done HTML before, when you open a tag, you then close it. So here, once you're finished with the script, you close it just like that. So what you do is you just simply put the backslash just after the bracket, and that's just closing the tag. Likewise, we have body, so we're going to close the body here as well once you're finished with it. And again, we have here the head. Head stands for the top section of the browser, just up there. So we've got the head, and we have something called the title, which gives it a title at the top. So you'll see these words at the top, right at the top. It says my first PHP script. That would appear at the top of the browser once we run this script. And the same way, we close off the tag title by putting the backslash just after the bracket there. And the same way, we close the head tag as well in HTML. So what I'm showing you here is a mix between PHP and HTML in one file. Okay, so now what we do after we've opened the body, we start with another tag, and this time we want to create bold. Okay, so we want to do a bold. So what we do is it's the brackets again, and a B, which stands for bold. I stands for italic. Yeah, so you got the idea. So we want to make it bold, and what we do now is we open up the PHP script. If you remember the intro, I've always used these tags. Okay, and we have here a command or a statement called echo, which is very similar to printf. So if we have printf, if you remember C programming, so obviously that's going to be ignored by the interpreter, or if you want, something similar to a compiler, but what it does, it interprets the lines. Okay, so this is equivalent to that. Okay, so now I'm going to delete that section because we don't need it. This here is another HTML tag called BR. BR stands for line break or break. So it creates a new line. And again, I'm just going to put another line break. I'm going to use HTML. Okay, so that's the two there, 2 line breaks. Now we close the PHP tag here, and that's it. So that's the program, and it's supposed to say hello world and then hello world again, but this time using the function called print. The function print does exactly the same as the echo statement. Okay, that looks a little bit more familiar to printf, doesn't it, but without the f. So that does exactly the same thing, and that's here. Printf is used in C programming, so you've got the idea now of how that would work. I'm just going to use this space here just to give you a quick intro on tags. Right, so when you start in PHP, you start with the less than and the question mark, and you close it with question mark and greater than. Okay, that's PHP. ASP, you do the same, but you do a percent and percent again. That's ASP. Okay, PHP again, there's another way you can actually write the same thing, but now you put PHP in front, so it tells the interpreter that it's a PHP code. That was compulsory in the earlier versions of PHP interpreter, but now it's no longer important to do that, but we'll do it. So just for completeness, we'll write that out as well. So that's PHP again. And there's the other way we could well, now let me show you HTML. So you got less than and you put HTML. That's how you start the HTML script, and you close it with HTML again, like that. And all HTML is just a collection of tags. So that basically to start HTML, that there P is to, and close P again. That one's paragraph, okay, in HTML. Bold, so you know how to. There's another one that creates a bold in HTML. What else you want to know about? So that one there, H1 is like a title, a header, a head title in large font. Okay, so there's all these H1, H2, H3 and so on until H7, which is just like different title headers that you can use. So yeah, so there's quite a bit of HTML tags, and we'll cover it as we go along, and when we use it we'll actually show it, we'll actually explain what it does, because we'll be mixing HTML with PHP. When we need to do something dynamic, we'll use PHP. When we need to format the page, we'll use HTML, and we'll mix and match between the two. Okay, there's another one we can use called script. So that's another way of starting a PHP script. You put the script language just like that, and then equals PHP, and you close it off like that. We can copy this as well, just to give you an idea. That's actually how you start a JavaScript as well. Tag, and that one's PHP again. So that one here, you can start the PHP script that way. You start it off with this, and you end it with that to end the script, or you can use this one, start it that way and end it with that, or you can use that one, start it with that and you close it with that. Okay, and in HTML you start it with that and you close with this. Okay, so now you've got an idea. I'm going to clear all this off because we don't need it in the program, and just quick scan of the program. Yep, it looks fine. I'm going to save it again, and I'm going to go to GlobalScape, which is Qt-FTP 8.2, and I'm just going to go into PHP lessons. I'm going to copy lesson 1 again, just overwrite it. Alright, before I run, I just want to show you how you can actually edit in Qt-FTP as well. You right click on the mouse and it brings that menu, and you click on edit, and it would open up in here the editor of Qt-FTP. That's exactly the same program as what we wrote in text editor, same thing. So okay, and then press enter, and it tells us access forbidden. Now why does it tell us access forbidden? Is because I haven't set the attributes. I've actually locked the site, what we're actually developing, and I'm just going to open it up for you so we can actually start to see the actual code. And we go to umacom.com, click on that, and then click on properties here, and it gives us the attributes. As you can see, the public can't actually see it, so we have to put read, and we have to put execute, and we say apply. Here we go. So that's lessons. That's the lesson 1. So I'm just going to click on that, and it says hello world twice, and that's all it was going to do. We're just using 2 different methods. The first one was echo, and the second one was print. So you can choose which one you want to use, but mainly in most of the examples we're going to be using the echo.